And wouldn't you know, it's Sunday again, and it's the European Ham Radio Show. It only feels like about a week since the last time we were here.
Amazing.
We got two guests over. Let's see if we can point the right way over there. Charlie and Barb. They're going to talk about the DX FT8 tablet transceiver today, and maybe a couple more things. So I'm really excited to see what that's about. But before we go there, it's the ham radio moment of the week, and I'm just going to shuffle you around, Tobias, so Barb doesn't have to go first and can see the format first. So, Tobias, what's your
I'm a bad example.
Yeah. What's your ham radio moment of the week, Tobias?
I did lots of things, not directly radio related, but a lot of small things. When we had the show about our 3D printing, I already said my old 3D printer has now a Marlin firmware. So they sort of opened it up with a Marlin firmware. So I gave that a try and printed like 4 different benches with different settings. And of course, it's time consuming to dial it in if you cannot rely on a pre-tested slicer. Then I did a lot of video editing, a quick run through, did a video testing the Bob meter, as I called it. So the inline voltage meter that Bob sent out to us. Thank you very much again.
So welcome.
Then I did a video about the G90. Surprisingly enough, the clickbait worked. I had a few views on that one. And the last one, this is not yet online yet. I had really a hard time repasting my Shack PC, after that BIOS disaster of 2 weeks ago where I had to completely dismantle it. I, of course, had to reapply thermal paste. And every time I do it, I'm struggling. So I thought, hey, why not do a video about that? And finally, I tested the voltage monitor ICs that I got from AliExpress, where Bob and I wanted to produce a small kit for a DIY project, some overvoltage, undervoltage indicator thing. And yeah, I finally managed to test them, and I also have a video in the pipeline for that. So lots of small things, but not being on the air. So that was
Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Sorry, Tobias. You're back. I was meant to just make you smaller again, and I removed you. Sorry about that. So let's see. I need to just juggle people around. So I'm
getting confused.
But not a half bad week for you, Tobias. I guess no German taxes this week.
Exactly. The taxes are done for last year. That's why I'm so productive now.
So, Barb, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'd really like to hear about your ham radio moment of the week.
Okay. So, my real name is Barbaros. It's a Turkish name. It's a little bit hard, so I go with Barb, so everyone can, pronounce it easily. So, my day-to-day job is I'm a civil structural engineer, and my profession is building bridges. But my compassion is ham radio, electronics, designing my own ham radio, etc., etc. So I have a GitHub site, modest YouTube channel that I do my tests, etc. I love to design radios and share them. That's my passion. So last week, my ham radio moment was to fit something here, which is an Altoids box, a digital radio that's 4 bands, 1 watt, and can do FT8, FT4 from my phone. So I came up with this.
Oh, this is going to be an expensive stream. I know it.
Oh, it is. Oh, man. So yeah, this is to carry around. You need an antenna and a USB cable to your phone, and I'm using in my phone IFTX. That's an iOS FT8 application, but you can do it on Android also WSJTX if you choose to. So this was my moment, and I did the test. It works.
Okay.
Oh, that is awesome. You again? How about you? Any ham radio?
First of all, I've spotted Barb's channel in the private chat, so maybe you can put
I
it on
can paste it
screen.
on right now.
Please do so. And yesterday I was on a field day. This field day is in Oscar Echo 3, that's Lower Austria, and this takes place every third weekend in August, and it's a lot of fun. In the morning it was a bit chilly there, so not many people there. Yeah, there was also a flea market, and I did an interview with Mike yesterday, OE3, Mike Zulu Charlie. He is our former OVSV president, and now he's responsible for emergency communication in Oscar Echo 3. And I did this interview, and that was it. And I spent a lot of time this week on AliExpress, just looking what can I buy next? How can I tweak my new Bamboo Lab printer a little bit more to make it better, much better as it is now? It is already a great printer. Yeah, there's always room for improvement, let's say. So
I thought that was the point of the Bamboo, that you shouldn't have to do that.
There's always other nozzles, etc.
Yeah.
Printing faster. I want to print nylon. That's my next project. So hopefully this will work. Let's see. And that was it for today. For this week. Sorry.
Yeah, we're keeping it short, as we talked about backstage. So let's see if that works when we get to Bob and me. Charlie, how about you tell the viewers a little bit about yourself and also your ham radio moment of the week?
Oh, okay. I'm approaching 80 years of age. I worked for 35 years as a engineer in the oil and gas arena, doing electrical power systems, automation systems, and telecommunication systems, sort of around the world. I've worked in the Arabian Gulf, the North Sea, offshore Philippines, the Gulf of Mexico, and other adventurous places. And I've never really worked too strenuously in telecoms professionally, but I did. But I guess I suffer from too many hobbies, because I like to do model airplanes, and I fly gliders, and then I do ham radio. So stay busy. And I've really enjoyed working the project here with Barb the last few years. It's been quite rewarding. And so that's about where I stand on it.
Yeah, that's not bad, though. Seems like you're keeping busy. What's your ham radio moment of the week, Charlie?
Say again?
What's your ham radio moment of the last week?
I finally got a piece of software to work on my derivative version of the FT8 rig. And what we've done with the help of one of our other contributors is that we now added on a wide area network board, and we can now report FT8 QSOs directly in the PSK reporter. And we finally got that to work. So that was a high point of the last week for me.
That's
nice.
That's really nice. And I see you're itching with your credit card already, Bob.
Well, the good news is that the stuff that Barb and I do is really peanuts compared to the other stuff you guys have been talking about.
Yeah, that's you pay with your time, not with your credit card for finishing these projects.
Exactly.
Yep.
And Bob, you've been doing summits this weekend. Is that your ham radio moment of the week?
Yes, I guess it is. Let's see if I can share just a few pictures. The Norwegian Summits on the Air Association, Lima Alpha 1 SOTA, has their annual meetup this year, so I joined them. I'll just quickly go through some pictures. This is antenna in sunset type motif with my the FTX1 Optima. I was running the Optima this week, and I was carrying that thing up and down mountains, and it's not as bad as people would have you believe. It's a little bit heavier than the just running the 705, but that's absolutely portable for summits on the air as well, the Optima. So yeah, I managed one summit on
for Norwegian mountains at least.
Are you saying Norwegian mountains are small? In Germany, I will do 5 mountains in a day. In Norway, I'm lucky if I manage 2. So I don't know.
Maybe it's the travel between the mountains. You never know. Okay.
Yeah, that could be something. I managed one activation, one summit on Thursday on the way up there, and one on Friday while waiting for the others to arrive. And again, this on Friday. I don't know if these were conditions. If the conditions were like that everywhere, but they were horrid when I got up there on Friday. The band was completely dead. I had the first preamp on the FTX1, and I was watching 100 kilohertz of spectrum, and I saw nothing, absolutely nothing, complete blackness. And then one German station comes on, and he's talking to a 9 Alpha station. So I figured, I better make the best of it, and I tried to hit him up once they're done. And I have a nice QSO with him, and he says, okay, my girlfriend just got home. I'm leaving the frequency, and I take over his frequency. And I logged 31 contacts on his frequency from there on or in. And I think I've said this before. The good thing about dead bands is that if you actually bother to go on, you could end up being the only thing on the band. So that means you get a pile up. For that activation, 31 contacts. I didn't even spot myself. That's the first time that's happened, and that happened on pretty much dead bands. So there are nice things about dead bands as well. You can easily end up being the only interesting thing on there. So do go out.
What band were you on?
That was 20. Yeah, so that's a monoband antenna that I'm bringing. 20 is a pretty safe band, at least for summits on the air up here. So often I will just bring an antenna for just 20 meters, and that was the only option I had.
Yeah. 20 is pretty good. The other bands were dead.
Yeah. But this reminds me about Bornholm, though, Bob. When the first night there as well, when 20 was completely dead when we started calling.
Yep.
There was no other stations to be heard, and then suddenly we had a pileup going for 2 hours.
Did help that we had that really cool call sign as well.
I think, absolutely. It did help that we were Attractive DX, but still.
Yeah. So that was. I wanted to share that again. I think I've said that before as well. When I did my kilo, I had some days like that as well. And if you can manage to be the only interesting thing on 20 meters, you're gonna get some contacts. That's pretty nice. So. Yeah, more pictures of antennas, and this is our common activation. We had doesn't look like there's a lot of people, but I think we were 20 people on that summit at one point. There's 3 antennas in here. They were operating 30 meters, 15 meters, and 20 meters at the same time, I think. So pretty nice, cool activation. We started Saturday morning on that summit, and everyone would just do 4 contacts and move on. Later on, we split up, going to different summits. As you can see, there's lots of nice summits in the area there. And about 2 hours after I took this picture, I was on the summit. I've just taken out my DX Commander travel pole, and VHF explodes. We were on 145 550, and someone from one of the other summits says CQ SOTA, and we had the thing going, and we had a constant pileup on VHF for 2 hours with people talking to each other across all the summits down there. I've had more QSOs in these 2 hours than I had in total on VHF since I got licensed. That was pretty amazing to witness what can happen if there are actually operators around that are interested to talk to each other on VHF. So that was very, very cool.
Yeah.
Seeing as we're going to keep this short, let me just stop there. But excellent weekend with the Lima Alpha 1 SOTA gang.
Nice.
Morten,
Yeah.
let's see if you can manage to
I'll
keep
try
going
to
for longer
keep
than me.
slightly short because this has been let's say it's been an eventful week. I'm going to share my screen here. I just thought I'd start with the thing that wasn't my ham radio moment of the week, because this is not how a DX commander is supposed to look.
True.
Let's see if I can flip through the pictures here. I came home from work on Friday. We had some weather early Friday morning. And apparently the DX commander mast split in one of the joints, and it just fell apart. So at the moment it's temporarily fixed with some gaffer's tape and some hose clamps, and it seems to be holding up. So I got it. Took me about 10 minutes, perhaps half an hour, to get it back up and running, which was really nice. Let's see. Besides that, I've been doing a bit of POTA this week. Found a new perfect POTA spot on the beach. Really, really nice. Been there 2 times this week with Rybakov and really enjoyed that. But my real ham radio moment of the week, and let's see if I can share another screen here. Oh, I shared my entire screen there, actually. I can see that now. That was not what I planned to do.
That could have gone a lot worse, but
that could have gone a lot worse. Let's see. Let me see if I can share again here, because I had a live stream yesterday together with Sean, Whiskey 9 Fox, formerly known as Ham Radio Dude, that was a host here for a while. He's developed something he calls FT8 Battle Royale, and it's still in an early beta stage. Which is you basically compete around the clock in different seasons to get the most points there. And it's a pretty complex scoring system for the points. So me and Sean had a little bit of walkthrough on this last night, and then we had an hour live doing FT8 on air. And it's not as boring as it sounds once you compete with other people in order to rise up on the scoreboard. It was the most fun I've had on ham radio since we went to Bornholm with 5 Papa 0 Tango Alpha, basically. So I can really recommend FT8 Battle Royale if anyone's interested. I got a stream on my channel about it. So I'm going to say that's my ham radio moment of the week, actually.
Cool.
Nice.
I managed to keep it short.
You did.
Fantastic.
Impressive. Actually, so I think we've all had pretty good ham radio moments of the week, but we really want to hear about this DXFT8 transceiver, Barb. You got a presentation?
Yeah, I have. Let me share the screen with you guys. So share screen, I guess, right? Screen, and then go here, I guess. You guys can see this?
No, we can't see it until you press the share button, and then we'll put it up on screen.
Okay. Let me see. Share button. Share screen, right? That's button.
Yeah.
And then it should pop up on our preview window here at some point, which it hasn't. There. Yeah.
Select Windows screens. Okay.
Share screen, and then you select if it's a window, if it's a screen, and just press.
Okay. Share. There you go.
Yep, we got it now. So I'm going to add that to stage here. Yep, we got it now.
Yeah. So we are not going to. This is the presentation we did in German Ham Radio last June. We are not going to do this presentation. Instead, we decided to use some of the slides of this and do a kind of explaining questions, getting text, and those kind of stuff so that we can explain everything. So I'll just start from here. The agenda will be kind of this: DXFT8, design objectives, alternatives. First of all, what is DXFT8? DXFT8 is the radio that's Charlie designed, actually, and I contributed on the hardware. So the hardware is, we are going to get into the hardware, but this is the whole aim of this radio, is to carry minimum with you, the rig and the antenna, to activate a SODA, PODA, or any portable operation with, as I said, minimum in our hands. And it uses FT8, concentrated on FT8. It has 7 bands, and you can operate on these 7 bands. So let me pass this. Charlie, do you want to take over from this? And I can go with the hardware.
Yeah. The initial objectives I had was to have something small, self-contained. We have ended up with an internal battery. It took quite a while to get there, but that really makes things nice. What we had as an objective was to power it from either a 5-volt lithium battery or from a 12-volt external source. And one of the big objectives was to have no mouse, no keyboard. Trying to carry those around with the cables is just a real pain. One thing that Barb was really good about is developing a PA, power amplifier that is really bulletproof. No matter how you try to abuse it, it still survives. So you can put a dummy load on it, or you can be open or put an antenna, it still survives. And another thing is a personal objective is I want something that's not going to set off the airport security, because I want to carry this.
Oh yeah, that's very important.
Luggage.
That is I work in the travel industry, so that is really important.
Yeah. And it took us a while to meet all these objectives, but it's been a good collaboration. Go ahead, Barb.
Yeah. So let me go to the evolution. I guess you have to talk about this, Charlie, right?
Yeah. I've been working on this project forever. I started doing small projects like this back in 2010, right after I retired. And I've had help from a number of people. I don't know if anybody remembers a small PSK transceiver put together by Milt, W5BAA, about 15 years ago. But it turned out that Case and Milt and I all ended up living in the same area. And we'd try to have lunch once a week. So it really profited. Somewhere along the line, I did a video on this, and Barb got to see it, and it sort of set him off on helping put together a real nice hardware package with a really good RF section. By the way, one of the motivations for this particular project was a development board put out by STM. Are you guys familiar with STM, Schneider Thompson Company?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought so. Anyway, here they have a substantial office here in the Austin area, and every once in a while they would have technical seminars that we'd get invited to. And at that time, they would pass out free evaluation boards. So that was quite a draw for me, being a cheapskate. Anyway, it got me started using the STM 32F746 Disco evaluation board, which was really quite handy because it's got a nice touch screen on it. Plus, it has a really good codec on it. So that was really, and a good processor plus good libraries for doing DSP. So that's sort of a nutshell of how we started using the STM product. And you can still get it. It's in stock, So, and previously you could get it for about $50, but unfortunately with the tariffs in place, they're up around $85 now. Barb, back to you.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about the hardware. So the DX-FTA hardware consists of two boards. One is the STM746 board, Disco board, as Charlie mentioned. This is the brains and also the display. And here you can see we have an RF board that stacks just into that board. This STM board has Arduino pins, which is very convenient. You just design an Arduino shield type of thing, and you just stick on it. So you can get all the ports, voltages, all necessary things from the processor board with those Arduino pins. So the brains is STM32F746 Discovery board from ST Micro. RF board, multi-band QRP operations. This is this. And let's pass to the other one. So let's talk about this STM32F746 board. So this is a pretty powerful board. You can see it has quad SPI flash memory, SDRAM, 320 kilobits, 48 kilobit per IO codec with inline I2C peripheral interface, color display, 4.3 inches LCD TFT, and it's capacitive touch. You don't have to use any poking sticks. You know, you can just control with your hands and fingers. And it works and it's affordable. It was affordable. Now it's not that affordable, but still affordable for a rig like that. This is the usage of the application memory usage. This is the DX-FT8 transceiver RF board block diagram. So after collaborating with Charlie on a couple of iterations of this, we used all kind of RF designs on it. Like in previous one, we used the SI, what was it, Charlie? 72?
4732.
Yeah, 4732 as the receiver and etc. They worked, but I wasn't so happy with it. So I wanted something with the TEHRS quadratule sampling detector, kind of STR and real SSB type receiver. And I created a board which I called DX Uno for luring young hams in a club here in New York. So I tried a receiver on that board, which is a board that plugs in an Arduino Uno, and Arduino Uno literally becomes your transceiver, that kind of a thing. So I sent one to Charlie, and Charlie adapted to STM32 board, and it worked like a charm. So Charlie said, go ahead, design the full thing. So I came with this. So let's go through the block diagram. So here's our antenna. Antenna goes to a low-pass filter. In the recent edition of DX-FT8, it's 7 bands. So this is 2 low-pass filters, one for lower bands for 40, 30, 20, and the second low-pass filter from 70 to 10 meters. And then this goes into a BF998 plus BF193 LNA preamp in front of the TEHRS QST, which increases the minimal discernible signal. This is kind of cheating from an old Marcus electronics handbook that I found. And it worked, actually. And actually, I got a lot of criticism adding a preamp in front of a TEHRS detector. Generally, it is common practice that we use TEHRS detector without any preamp and connect it to low-pass filter. But in my tests, it worked pretty good. The other thing I did this amplifier, I used a double diode protection limit. So it was kind of bumping down the RX sensitivity. So by using this, I was gaining that again. So it was a good catch. And then we enter to the AF preamp, which divides into in-phase and quadrature signals I and Q, which goes into the audio interface codec of STM32F746, which Charlie does his magic to get pure SSB audio out of it. So the other thing I did was I used the SI5351 PLL, which is very common, popular, as the VFO generator for the transmit and also receive. So the common practice is to use two outputs and give phase shift, but for some reason I couldn't get it to work, and it sounded very complicated to me. So what I did was I got the 4 times the receive signal entered to a 74ATC74 and divide into 4. This way I got the phase difference I and Q that I can apply to the Taylor QST, which worked like a charm because there isn't any phase difference now. It's already adjusted. So this is the RF receive section. So when we come to transmit section, I must say that I told that to Charlie many times. I hate MOSFETs because they always burn in the least expected time while you are on SOTA or POTA and etc. So I wanted to get rid of it and create a PA amplifier that's maybe low on power, but at least take great abuse. So what I did was I got rid of the MOSFETs or etc. as PA transistors. I used a buffer, TTL buffer. This is 74AC2244 buffer. This buffer is I think it was used way before to drive core memories and etc. It has 50 fan output, and it's pretty good buffer, you know. And the trick was, instead of using it at 5 volts, push it to 7 volts. When you push it to 7 volts, you get a decent output from it. And then I used, after testing many transformer schemes, I came up with a mini circuits transformer that I found while searching for a nice output transformer as to use as an auto transformer. So this is basically a bifilar transformer. So the transformer is T2613 from Mini Circuits. Mini Circuits is a very good company. I mean, they are pretty famous in military spec products. So after that, you enter to the low pass filter and you go out to the antenna. Our output is between 1 watt on the lower bands, like 40 meter, 30 meter, and goes down to 400 milliwatts on 10 meter. For FT8 and digital modes, it's plenty. For CW or so, maybe it's not that much, but this was digital mode, so it served the purpose. So I'll go through a bit on the details of the transmitter schematic now. So as I said, I was using higher than 5 volt spec value of RF power amplifier, which is the buffer 244. And I got a lot of criticism on this. Why are you pushing this amplifier out of its spec? Last year in FDIM, I entered a competition for a TTL RF power amplifier. I pushed this guy up to 11 volts and I got 1.8 watts out of it. Did it burn? No, it didn't.
What's the spec? It's spec for 5 volts?
5 volts.
Very nice.
So, okay, you cannot produce something with 12 volts, giving 12 volts to the guy and say that, hey, it's done. Everyone will burn it, I guess. But 7 volts it works. I mean, without any problem. So it's not even in the, well, it is in the maximum spec. The spec says 7 volt is the maximum you can give it, and I gave the maximum. So
Hey, Barb.
this, yeah.
How much does that chip cost? Is it about 50 cents?
Yeah. I mean, if you go the SMD version and get it produced, it's, I think, 22 cents.
Yeah. And then also, you know, I guess then people think you're abusing it, but
Yeah.
there you are running it at 7 volts and getting that nice power out. I've got 5 or 6 of your boards, and I've never broken one yet. So
Well,
you know, it works, and it's awfully cheap.
So how are you powering this? Is this a 7.2 volt LiPo pack then, or?
No, I'm going to go to that. This is the PA voltage boost supply. So this is a switching supply, literally. You give 5 volts and you
step
get
up converter.
Yeah, step up, yeah.
Okay.
7 volts. The good thing is you just need it on TX. You don't need it on RX. So what we do is by firmware, we turn it on before transmitting and turn it off after transmitting. So there isn't any glitch or any RF interference from this thing. We just use it in TX. That's it.
Nice.
So the other thing is we put a switch here. If anyone is too worried about it, they can switch to 5 volts and they will have a very long duration living IC still. You know? So
can you get that that buffer circuit? Can you get that in a 18-pin dual inline package as well?
You can, yeah.
Then you could just put a socket in, and you can bring 50 of them in your pocket when you go for an activation. You can burn it when you do that. They weigh nothing.
Do that too. Yeah, but it's interesting. I mean, a friend of us kit this DX FT8. I think there are 200 or so kits. I got one kit that was this buffer burned, and that guy was a friend of mine. I don't know how he did it. He managed it. I mean, and DX Unos, I use the same chip, same system. No one complained that it breaks down. So it's kind of resilient. If I use the classic Class E or so, forget it, you know. It will be a disaster. Inside, well, you get like 4 or 5 watts, but you burn a lot of those things also. I mean, I went with one of the 5 watt ones, which was my ADX. You can see on my GitHub. I set up the soda for it. I pressed the computer to transmit. Boom, gone. So I have to pack everything and come home.
That is it's the symbol. That's a Smith trigger as well, isn't it? That's so that's completely digital up to the point of the transformer there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a digital guy. I'm not an RF guy. I'm very bad actually in RF, you know, and I hate RF. So up to here, I bring everything digital, and these guys correct it to a sinus. That's it.
Yeah,
everything
very
is
cool.
Square wave. I mean, when you put a scope here and look at it, oh, it's so ugly. Anyway, so this is the PLL VFO, and in the PLL, we are using a thermally controlled crystal oscillator. So this is very good on frequency stability, and I use 26 megahertz. This is not very common also in practice. I guess they generally use 25 megahertz, but it works. So this is of course, this is the PLL VFO power amplifier. We talked about it. We have a relay that selects between 2 bandpass filters according to each band, as you see, 40, 30, 20, and 17 to 10 meter. So 7 bands. Oh, I got a lot of questions. Why didn't you include 80 meter? To be honest, 80 for a portable rig doesn't make much sense with the antenna conditions and everything, you know. So that's why we didn't include, but it could have been included in it. Because I don't think that anyone will use the XFT8 kind of rig at home. You have better radios for that, right? That's why.
Yeah, I'm thinking this as a portable rig, and I
Yeah.
think I can count on one hand through my many hundred portable activations that I've actually utilized 80 meters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
So yeah, that was my reasoning. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. So this is the receiver. Receiver is the interesting part of this radio. So in receiver parts, so we have four basic sections. So we have a TXRX switch, which is a MOSFET transistor. So we don't use any relays or anything like that. We just block the signal. When we block the signal while transmitting, nothing passes. So receiver is pretty okay with that. So this is the RF LNA I was talking about. After this switch, you have the limiting diode here, two diodes back to back in a opposite reverse connection fashion. And then you have the BF998. This is a dual gate MOSFET. The funny thing about dual gate MOSFETs are they are very good on low noise amplification, but they're obsolete. They don't produce them anymore. I don't know why. I think because of the old mimics and etc. So I have to make a change on this one soon, as we can't find it anymore so easily. So this goes to a buffer, which is BFR93, and then from the buffer you can come to the classic Dan Taylor creation, Taylor quadruple sampling detector, which divides into four phases and then enters to an amplifier stage, and you get I and Q outputs, which we go into the processor board to process with Hilbert, etc., to get the SSB.
So that's a bit similar to the QMX. Is it also this 74HC chip that produces the quadrature signal?
Yes, actually, this is stolen a lot from my previous projects on Guido's Marvel Micro SDX. I don't know if you guys know that.
Great. So everything shares the same root here.
Yeah. The only thing I did is QMX uses, Hans is more clever than me, of course. So he solved the problem of using two phases from the SI 5351. For some reason, I couldn't. I tried a lot. I couldn't. I'm not a good programmer. So I cheated, and I used this flip-flop divider. I enter 4 times the frequency. I get perfect phase I and Q signals. So sometimes if you can't solve with firmware, you can always solve with hardware.
Sometimes that's even preferred.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So solves a lot of headache in software.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure a competent person with firmware. I'm not that good. I do programming, but my programming is very basic. I'm not that good at it. The other thing,
but sometimes being too clever is also not good in software. So simple is the key. That's my thing.
That is true.
Yeah. So this is the BXFT8 battery management system schematic. Oh, this evolved a lot. I think this is, what is that, Charlie? 5th or 6th, right?
Oh, at least.
Yeah. So this is, let's start from the bottom. We have a 3.3 volts power supply unit, which is a very classic AMS 1117, 3 volts. This is for the SI 5351 to get a stable voltage to that chip, only for that chip. This is a DC 12 volt power supply to charge the battery. So when you're charging battery, you plug in, it generates a nice 3 amp, up to 3 amp, 5 volts. And also you can charge the battery with USB, from USB power with a USB, in this case, I'm using a USB mini, but soon it will be USB-C connector. I'm changing it. So everything goes into this chip. This chip is very interesting. Actually, how I found this chip is a different story. I ordered a battery management system without even looking at the chip and etc. because I was in love with the LEDs that's showing the battery level. And then afterwards I got it, I used it, and it was pretty good. So I reverse engineered it and looked at the chip, and it's IP5306. It was hard to find the spec because this is one of the Chinese manufactured chips. So we get our boards produced in JLC PCB. It's a Chinese company. So I wrote to JLC PCB, hey guys, do you have this chip? Well, we can get it for you. Okay, great. So yeah, I adapted this to this radio, and it works great. It creates a 5 volts from down from 2 volts, I guess. It can go up to 2 volts, but it has a under voltage level optimizer, so it doesn't drain the battery. So 3.7 volts lithium-ion battery, anyone can be used. So it creates 5 volts output. It charges automatically and cuts automatically. It has all the things that BMS battery management system has. Short circuit protection, this, that, and also has 4 LEDs showing in 25% the battery condition. So we don't have to do a battery software or firmware device indicator or anything. Pure LEDs.
They're even Charlieplex does it, so it's very nice.
Yeah, it does Charlieplex. Very nice.
Very cool
chip. Yeah, very cool chip. And it was by coincidence from Amazon. $2. So yeah, I mean, the rest is, this is the interface that we use. We don't use too much of an interface also, you know, it's just the grounds. We supply 5 volts to the RF board. This is 2 switches, one for the receive cut switch, that's MOSFET, and the other one is the cut the power supply of the 7 volt switching supply, change the relay, and I2C. That's it. Not much coming from the board, processor board. And also we have a real-time clock. This real-time clock is just to register the time of the QSOs in SD card. That's it. It's not used for anything else.
How do you synchronize the periods of FT8?
We are going to come to that.
All right.
Charlie has a couple of tricks in his hat for that.
Cool.
So this is the DXFT8 RF board, the sections that we discussed. This is the TX boost. This is the TX circuit. All TX circuit is here. This is the RX circuit, which occupies most of the space. The power inputs, which is the, BMS and power supply unit. Oh, this is the BMS, sorry. And real-time clock. So this goes. The only thing we are getting as analog between 2 boards is through this 3 pins here, which is ground, in phase out, and quadrature out to the board as audio, so that the board can do its SSB Hilbert transform thing. So there's a future hardware development wish list from all the users coming along. So I'm going through these now. So RF board design 5-band became 7-band. This was one of the wishes, and it's done. A 6-meter band. Unfortunately, this is very hard with the TTL chips I'm using. I don't think that I can do that. So I dropped this. Increasing PA output from sub 1 watt to around 3 watts with Class D MOSFET. I'm halfway through it. It works great on the testing. Replacing dual gate MOSFET LNA with MMIC type LNA. This is doable. I didn't start it yet. Someone asked for adding a manual antenna tuner to cover all portable antenna conditions. This can be done. But the problem with this is it will make the rig bigger, and bigger is not good for portability. So it's better to carry another tuner or use a tuned antenna.
I think so. Bring a set match or something. That's maybe
Yeah,
better.
much better. Yeah.
The argument there is always that if someone tries to get you to do that, and just tell them
I know.
what lane end of the feed line the tuner belongs in, and they'll
that's it.
shut them up.
And
but are you going to be able to do the 3-watt amplifier just as bulletproof as the?
Yes. As bulletproof, I think I can do it. As 3 watts, I don't know if I can reach 3 watt is the maximum, but I can go from 1 watt to 2 watts, I guess, easily, because with Class D MOSFETs, you are using MOSFETs again, and I don't like MOSFETs.
That's true, but I'm guessing also power usage will go up significantly with that change.
To eliminate SWR damage as much as you can is to use a MOSFET transistor that has the highest breakup voltage, right? Like the classic BS170s are, I think, limited to 60 volts. And 60 volts, when you compare to 3 watts, you don't get too much margin for defect. But I tried this with another MOSFET. Actually, I stirred the pot a lot in the QRP Labs forum with that, because I modified my QDX power amplifier, and there were a lot of love and hate signals coming from there for that. So
hams have opinions. That's the problem.
Oh,
right?
yeah, they have. So I used a transistor called FT88256, which is a surface mount. I think I forgot the case, but it is one of the surface mount. It's like the regulators. So that thing has 150 volts breakout voltage, which is pretty good when compared to. So if I can limit this to 2 watts and 150 volts, it will be resilient to many SWR hiccups, It might work. So we'll see what will happen. And there's another crazy idea to use 2 TTL chips as Class D format, but, I know many will hate me about that. So.
Once again, you can just put sockets in there. You can put as many as you like.
Exactly. So, this is the other thing is, we have contributors for the software, and they are great guys, One of them is N6HAN, and the other one is I think, what was it, Charlie? W6AGQ, I guess, right?
I think that's pretty close.
Yeah. So these guys are pushing us in firmware development a lot, and we love it, because now the DXFTA firmware became to 2.0, and it's pretty stable. So what we decided to do is, hey, we have the full touchscreen. We are going to go to Class D MOSFET if we can. Why don't we add CW into this rig? Because now we can do everything in one rig, FT8, CW, and actually, I was crazy enough to add polar modulation SSB also in it. And I'm a good friend of Hans. Maybe he can help.
Yeah.
So this is the DXFT8 future development, and now the firmware, it's to Charlie.
Okay.
Let's start.
Okay, first off, let's do some attribution here. My secret to getting something to work is I plagiarize.
Yes.
I'm not really a very skilled programmer, and I steal wherever I can. I came across a fella. His name is Carlos Goba. I think he lives in Latvia. And he had put together a nice library of FT8 software. And I corresponded with him back in 2019, and he was quite helpful. Has anybody heard from Carlos? It's been several years since I've been able to reach him on email. I don't guess anyone's really corresponding with him. Anyway, Carlos really helped a lot. Next slide.
Next slide.
This is the receiver front end. Starting at the left, we have Barb's nice TALO detector giving us I and Q signal. We use the built-in codec on the disco board. What we're doing that's a little bit different is that we're actually measuring the I and Q signal from Barb's board. We're mixing that with a 10 kilohertz clock, and we have two 3 kilohertz filters for filtering that down, and we put it together to get either upper sideband or lower sideband signal. Of course, we've also down in the lower left-hand column, we have the SI 5351 clock. One thing that I really have to applaud Barb on doing is combining that SI 5351 clock with a temperature stabilized crystal. You don't have to do any correction or anything on that clock. You just tell it what frequency you want it to work on. And I continuously look at PSK Reporter, and I always see the my received signal being received by people around the world within about 10 or 15 cycles of what I want to set it to. So I'm really happy with that. Next slide. Oh, by the way, one thing that I think is really great from Barb's design is that although people laugh at him for having that LNA in front, we do have a minimum discernible signal down in the minus 110 dBm range, which I think is quite respectable for a small, simple operation like this. Next slide, Barb. Oh, yeah. And here's something I hope you can see well that I'm quite proud of is that the two left-hand spectrums are the output from Barb's board. And you can see the FT8 signals there around 10 kc. And the software we have gets that down to baseband, and it does the unwanted sideband suppression, which is shown on the right set of spectrums. The upper right spectrum is the desired upper sideband signal at baseband, and then you have the lower sideband at the bottom. And you can see we've got terrific unwanted sideband suppression, and that's without doing any adjustment in software for either amplitude or phase. Again, that's due to the circuitry that Barb has come up with. And also by processing the signal initially at 10 kc, we don't have any garbage down around DC, which has been a problem with SDR receivers. So I'm quite proud of that spectrum we're getting at baseband shown up in the upper right-hand quadrant. Next slide.
Pretty cool.
Question?
I said pretty cool.
Oh yeah, here you can see it in the more detail. Is that down around DC? There's just no garbage like you
because it's all thrown away when you get rid of everything lower than 10K, right?
Yeah,
it all disappears.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. And this gets a little cumbersome. in the software, we have a section that's essentially time domain processing. We have a way of sampling at 32 kilobits per second. And in order to do FT8, you really need to do sampling at around 6,200 hertz. So I had a way to achieve that. Oh, no, it's 6,400 bits per second. I should have said it that way. And then we have some built-in FFTs that we actually end up doing an FFT that's down at 3.125 hertz spacing. But for doing FT8, really the spacing you need is down at 6.25 hertz. So we're actually sampling at a much finer resolution in order to get our FT8 decoding. This is something that I stole from Carlos Goba. His software did that, and I think it works really well. And we use these FFTs for doing the FT8 decoding, and we also use it to drive the waterfall display. Next slide. This is really the tricky bit, is trying to do the decoding and doing the traffic management. Part of the problem that you get into is that with the way FT8 is done, is that you do have a human in the loop, which is shown on the top block diagram, where if you want to operate where you see someone calling CQ and you want to call them, you've got to select the guy and touch the screen to say, okay, I want to pursue that guy, and therein you have a human loop. And of course, if you're not very quick, you're not going to be able to do that very well. And anyway, then we also have the sensitizing the message and transmitting it. This has been probably the most challenging part of the project, and I've gotten some very good help on that. And I can't remember what we have on the next slide, Barb. Let's see the next slide.
This is not so relevant now, right? We changed the...
Well, it just shows you the complexity.
Yeah.
I tried to do the sequencing by having different time slots in a spreadsheet, and gee, you can get awfully dizzy very quick. Next slide.
This is the same on the beacon mode.
Yeah, you can get not so dizzy here. Next slide.
Yeah. Oh, this is the, Charlie, this is the, how
Someone
can I
asked
say,
about
trick Charlie has.
synchronization.
Yeah, synchronization. We do synchronization with this method. Yeah, go ahead, Charlie.
This is the coolest
I'm going to be
part.
real bold, and I'm going to say that there's a myth that you got to have clock synchronization within 1 second to do FT8. Because in my early experimentation, I was able to manually sync just by watching the waterfall. So anyway, I initially did manual synchronization, and we found a way to where we could watch the waterfall. And what we do is we watch for that lull between time slots, and you got about 3 or 4 seconds where you shouldn't have anything going. And we wait until we see that lull in software, and we just synchronize, and it works.
That's there's a software JTDX for PC software that you can configure to do the same thing. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It works very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that works. Next slide. And we also had help from our contributors because I hate to admit it, but at the very beginning and still, I'm pretty ignorant on SOTA POTA operation. Hope to do it someday, but I have to plead ignorance. Anyway, we got some great help from Wei, and he added terrifically to the code to do that. Next slide.
Yeah.
Oh, let me break in here and make an editorial comment. I really enjoyed seeing your guys' slides about your SOTA operations. And it looks like you've got a lot better landscape to do that in. And it's not so blessed hot. You've got nice, cool circumstances. And I can just imagine that when you go from mountaintop to mountaintop, that you get down at the bottom and you go to the pub first before you next go to the next summit, don't you?
Well, there's a bit of a drive between summits, and generally drinking and driving is frowned upon in Norway. So we save that for when we come down from the latest summit of the day.
Okay. Anyway, I think you have a lot better area to do SOTA in than I do. Oh, let's see, what do we got here? Anyway, we published a POTA a cheat sheet that you can see on the website. Let's go on to the next slide.
Yeah,
Barb.
this is the cheat sheet. Yeah, how we operate.
Another cheat sheet. So we're pretty graphic on our instructions. Go ahead, Barb.
So in the FT8, this is the operation screen. So we have touch screen. So this does a lot of the controlling of the rig. And it has kind of WSJTX feeling, you know, you divide the screen into two. So this is the monitor and this is the QSO going on side of the screen. And you can see the frequency here. This is your transmitting frequency between 500 hertz to 3000 hertz. And this is the waterfall. Well, you cannot see much, but this is the waterfall, and the band is open. This is all colorful. We have a tune page. This is very primitive, though. This tune page got crowded a lot, and now we have keyboards and this and that and all kind of gimmicks in it. So here you can control many things if you do tune. First of all, tune, because you can transmit the tune your tuner, like we have in WSJTX. And you have your bands, you can change between bands. Again, you have your frequencies, you can save your bands, you can change your clock here and your day, month, year from here. And also now we have the other things that I said. It's all in this site, the FT8 site. This is another tune screen that evolved. You have CQ, SOTA, POTA, QRP, and you have free 1, free 2. This is interesting. Actually, you can write 13 characters of any message and you can transmit. So you can literally use this ring as GS8 type of thing, but it's not GS8. It's on FT8. So, Charlie, do you want to talk about the traffic? This has changed too, actually, right? We have to update this.
No, that's current. And in fact, correct? I just put on a video feed. I've got a video camera on my new
let's go to
I'm going to enlarge you, Charlie, so we can see what it looks like.
Yeah. That's actually running right now. I think, yeah, it is. And with the
I'll
7-inch
sharing then, because we came already at the end of the presentation.
Okay, that's good. That's boring stuff anyway.
Yeah, boring stuff. And
anyway, this is my 7-inch
screen. You're going to see this. And I'll keep this for a second so that you can see the link, and there's a QR code if someone wants to scan this. Okay, I'll stop sharing now.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back to the get back to the presentation view here. There we go.
Okay. There you go.
Did you press? No, you ended the presentation. Yeah.
Yeah, I ended the presentation.
We got a couple of questions.
Charlie's...
Yeah. We got a couple of questions during the presentation. First of all, Steve wants to know: does it do FT4 as well as FT8, or is it only FT8?
No,
FT8.
at the moment it's only FT8 because FT8 consumes pretty good processing power. This is not a PC, so we don't have that much multitasking. Charlie can answer this question better than me, I guess.
I don't have any plans to do FT4. Perhaps someone will contribute that to the project.
This is an open source project. Everything is out there, including the firmware and hardware and etc. And we are looking for contributors. Wish someone can do FT4 also. That would be great.
Is there room in Flash for additional firmware, or are you approaching the limit?
There is.
Maybe, I don't know. You don't know until you write it and try it out. So I wouldn't pretend to know that.
Yeah. And now we are deviating to different areas like CW and polar SSB and those kind of things, which will be very firmware intensive. So we will see what will happen.
But I understand where Steve was coming from, though, because FT4 is a lot quicker when doing portable operations, and doing an activation with 10, 12 QSOs on FT8 is sometimes painstakingly slow.
I know.
Yeah. So
FT8 is very popular, and everyone is using many watts.
Yeah.
So our little transceiver is lost in translation mostly.
So if someone wants FT4, all they got to do is roll up their sleeves and do it and contribute it.
Yeah.
Yep. See, Steve, you got a challenge now.
Yeah, that's dangerous to say to Steve, because I think
he's a software developer. So
I see that one of our colleagues from Maine are asking about logging. We do logging. We produce an ADIF log, and that works very well.
And then,
we have an SD card, and SD card logs everything with the day's QSO file in the ADIF spec. So you just pull the file from SD card and upload to whatever loggings.
And that's even one less thing to take out in the field. And then Jitter here's got a question: how much is it, and where do we get one? Do we need to build one? Can we get kits? Or
that's the thing. I'm looking into kits again. The problem is a friend of us. I didn't start this as a kitter, and neither Charlie did, but a good friend of us, Keith Tavern, Case wanted to kit this on behalf of us, and he did a great job. He sold I think 200 kits, right, Charlie?
About 160.
Yeah, and afterwards he's had a home renovation problem, and he had to attend his home, so he couldn't do it. So I ordered another 30 kits, so I put it together, and we did a group buy on it. But the problem is, with the tariffs, the price is doubled now. And it's really hard to ask that price from people. Well, we can do it.
And how much would that be?
Well, we were doing it for $40. Now it became almost like $80.
Oh, I'd happily pay that.
That's a steal. It's a steal for it. I'd get
even with the added 25% Norwegian.
But you don't stop there. You still have to pay another $80 for the STM board, which was $50.
Yeah.
So altogether, the kit comes with bells and whistles, this, that, like 3D case. Someone designed a very good 3D case. This around $200.
Yep, I'd
So for
happily,
a
I'd
88,
happily pay that.
But
Okay.
talking about cost, you said just the STM board is $80 bucks. I would guess
Yeah.
that chip in hundreds volume, that's less. It's less than $20, maybe 15.
Yeah.
And do you really need the rest of the supporting demo board?
You do, because the demo board is not only the STM chip, it has all the supporting chips, the decode, audio codec chip, the LCD, TFT, and etc. So actually, still, it's cheap when you consider all the hardware that goes into the STM board.
Okay, so the codec it's separate from the STM chip. I thought you used one that had
No, it's everything is in that board, in that STM disco board.
Yeah, but
We
not
are
on
not-
chip. It's not on the STM32 chip.
No, it's not. It's separate.
Oh, right,
yeah,
right. Yeah.
it's separate. Actually,
But-
there's
but,
like 17 chips on that board.
Okay.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think at least me and Bob would pay $200 for that board,
Easily.
and I am, and yet again, so I don't think you should be, and don't take this as market advice. Usually, I say don't take this as legal advice, but I think that. I think there is some will to actually buy this product. It seems like an awesome product, and I'd really want one. And $200 without
okay.
a doubt.
Yeah.
I'd also say that we have a friend on the show, Smitty Halibut, that does kits. I don't know if you're familiar with him. If you tried to do something with him, he might be interested in doing that.
That would be great if we
That would
can.
be
I mean,
worthwhile.
as I said, it's an open source project, and anyone can do the kitting if they want to do it. You know, everything, including the manufacturing files, the fabrication files, the pick and place files, everything is in the site. So someone has to grab it, send to the fab, and manufacture the RF boards and sell it, literally. Yeah.
You know, also a comment. I think if we could find someone to do the kitting in Europe,
Oh, that
the
would be great
cost
help.
would be
Yeah.
lower than what we would have to charge here in America.
Because sending something to Europe starts from $25 or so from US to Europe. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then you guys get on top of that your own VATs and tariffs and etc. Right?
Yep.
So, but
What do you say, Morten?
Yeah.
Should we start?
Anyway.
I think I have
I'll
enough
take one.
ventures at the moment, but Jürgen's got time.
Well, when you're retiring, Bob, you can start the kitting business. right?
Yeah.
I'm retiring. I'm starting Summits
No,
on the air full time.
I am thinking actually kitting business. I love it. But the thing is, with my day-to-day job, it's very hard because I'm in the construction, and you know that construction hours not like going and working in a bank on certain hours. It goes on and on.
But you only have 2 years left.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
But seriously, if you get kits together, I am sure people would buy them.
No, I'm going to. By the way, we have another. I created a group to support the XFT8 and related projects. Not only it's IO groups in the IO groups site.
Yeah.
It's called Blue QRP. Maybe you guys can find it.
If you have a link, you can post it in a private chat.
I have
over
to
on the
find
side
it on my. Let me see if I can do it here. Just a sec. And I can share it with you guys. Yeah, I found it.
And then if just post it in a private chat, because not everyone's allowed to post links on YouTube, strangely
Oh,
enough.
is it? Okay. There you go. I did it. Yeah.
Okay, I will subscribe to that group as soon as the stream has ended.
This is the group where we discuss all kind of things on DXFT8. It's not related only to DXFT8. We discuss many things here. You know, sometimes I put my little projects there and say that, hey guys, I tested this, that. You know.
Awesome. And I'm really looking forward to and hoping that I'll be able to buy one soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to. There's a lot of pressure on me now to kit it. I mean, you guys are not the only guys. I get a lot of emails, so I think I'm going to order another 30 kits soon, and then I mean, the price will be close to $80, I guess. Unfortunately, and the rest is up to you guys to buy the disco board, etc. In Europe, you can find it, I guess, in Mauser and those kind of places. Farnell has, and also what was the other place? There's a German outlet also. They stock those.
Yeah, I think you can find suppliers for these. Going to SD Micro, you can they list the suppliers they have on the different continents. So.
Yeah, everything is in the kit. The only thing you need is the boards, the disco boards, CR2032 battery for the clock, and your own 3.7 volt lithium battery, because it's very hard to send something with battery to anywhere.
That gets complicated very quickly.
Batteries are really complicated. Michael asked if you
I saw it.
Any availability of pre-built kits for those who are getting older and have just enough disabilities to make soldering work very difficult.
Pre-built kits by numbers, I can't, I guess, but for a couple of hams, I can do it. I can do it. A couple of friends, because living in an apartment doesn't help the situation.
So, but
you need a warehouse for that.
and I think people got to remember that this is not a full-time job for any of you guys. This is a hobby project, and then there's got to be some compromises as well. And Marion says that cost is less than a nice dinner out, and she's absolutely right. I'll tell my wife straight away that we won't be going out to eat for a while.
Next weekend is skipped.
Tell us the
You
adventure
just
after
ordered
that.
Let's see how you look next weekend when you come back after telling her that.
Let's see if I am back next week. It's been awesome having you on. We've run a bit longer than usual, but as I can see from the statistics, we've kept the viewers, so it's obvious that this is something people want to hear about, and we've really enjoyed having you on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to be here.
Thanks
I
for
got to say, this is probably my favorite show so far. We've been going for more than 2 years now, and it's my favorite show so far. Excellent presentation, excellent product.
Thanks
this
a
is
lot.
great fun.
Okay.
You already had me in Friedrichshafen at your
actually, you found us. Yeah, that was a good coincidence.
And I know for sure that a couple of us guys are probably going to promote this project on YouTube once we were able to buy it.
By all means, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I will do with my capability as I can to kit. But as I said, I mean, I cannot order like 1,000 kits at once or so.
No, I completely understand.
I mean, what I do is I generally order 30 kits because that's enough time to put together, etc. And generally, I announce in that now in the blue QRP or in the site, hey guys, I have 30 kits, first come, first serve. Whoop, people coming.
2 seconds later, sold out. Right,
yep.
I can imagine that.
So it sounds like it's about as hard to get hold of as a Pactana.
Yeah.
If you do end up doing this and you have no one else to distribute in Europe, you should just reach out to us and see what we can help out with in that regard. Because as you say, there's money to be saved by going directly to Europe for European customers.
That would be great.
Absolutely.
Sending as a whole sum to one of you, wholesale to one of you guys, that would be great. Yeah. So that we don't have to. Yeah. I mean, posting is a killer for Europe. Yeah. If someone wants to buy.
Yep.
Yep.
Good.
But it's been that way since I lived in the U.S. Postage from the U.S. to Europe has always been a lot higher than the other way around.
Expensive. And now we have the other things also on top of that: customs, VAT, tariffs, this, that. I mean, so you'll never know what you'll end up with.
It can change every week based on a whim, so you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
We are getting close to stuff we shouldn't discuss on a ham radio show now. I think.
No, yeah, exactly. let's tone down.
Yeah, anyhow, guys, thank you for watching.
Thank you.
And Camille says thank you for the excellent presentation.
you.
And I think on that note, we'll just say 7-3 and see you next week for the field day preparation show. 7-3, guys.
7-3.
7-3.
Bye.